What's the matter, you? Hey, what do you gotta say? Hey, how you doing? How you doing, little ladies? Eight. All right. So I want to talk about Elizabeth Bathory. Okay, now here's the thing about this broad. It's very interesting. She was very intelligent. She spoke 4 languages. Her family was like royalty on royalty on royalty. Her uncle was a Polish czar, I do believe. Anyway, I'll stick to the actual dates. So when she was born in 1560 in Hungary, her family had a lot of money, like I said. They had so much money that when she got married, they took her name. Okay? And the gift that at that wedding was a castle from her husband. So how much money do these people have? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Anyway, so she got engaged at 10 years old, as one does. And she got married at 14. Now, between that, it's basically between the chick got engaged at 10, she got married by 14. So that's just like, some say 14, some say 15. Like Elizabeth is that she had seizures, and she'd have these insane seizures, and that at the time back then, they believed in bloodletting. Like if you see like a barber thing, see the blue and the red, it represents the veins, because the barbers were like the doctors. Here's an old SNL skit, and they say, who's the barber? You know, like, I'm going to bloodlet you now, because that's the only way to fix your cold, is letting out all this blood. I mean, after all, who's the barber? You know, so it's kind of like that thing. They thought, like, if you put blood on people's lips who have seizures, it'll stop the seizures, and like all this stuff. So that's where the blood part comes in, because back in the day, they used blood to control seizures. I don't know. I mean, who knows? This woman's claim to fame, I'm just going to tell you right now, 650 women she killed. Sexually, deviantly, all of it. Killed 650 women. From 80 to 650 women, according to all the deeds I saw today. I was like, are you kidding me? 80 to 650? 80 to 650? Like, how'd you come up with 80? At least some people were like 300. Oh, okay, 300. Okay, well, you know, all right, but 80? That was really loud. They were like, 80! So, at her wedding, it had 4,500 guests, once again, as one does. So this woman was actually married to this guy for 29 years. They had 5 children of their own. In the meantime, she's called the Blood Countess, and other people called her Countess Dracula. So you'll hear Elizabeth Bathory, Elizabeth Bathory. So you might hear her be called the Blood Princess, or the Blood Countess, or the Countess Dracula, or the female Dracula, because she had an uncle who was actually in charge of like Transylvania and stuff too. So she was connected. She's a sadistic, powerful person. So one of the first stories they tell about her is her laughing as a man is sewn into the side of a live horse for stealing. His body, because he's alive, is being sewn into a horse who is also alive. And I'm wondering, like, what the horse steal? I mean, I know you're medieval and all, but what'd the horse do? So she's just like a jerk. And her husband's the Black Knight of Hungary, so he's no fun. And they're just taking over the Ottoman Empire and just killing everybody and having a good time. One of the first stories about her is that she got knocked up by one of the peasants' kids or whatever, and she was 13. Well, since they were such nobility and all that jazz, they couldn't let anybody know about it, even though she went full term and gave away the baby. What they did to the kid was crazy. What'd they do? to this kid. He was castrated and thrown into a pack of hungry dogs. Alive. Castrated. Little Bobbit action, if you will. Lorena Bobbitt. Every time I think of Lorena Bobbitt, I'm like, tear. So the husband had a torture chamber, and hell, what fun. Biographics, that was a good YouTube channel for this story too. Very interesting. So this woman basically, once her husband dies, she's so bummed out and so bored that she decides to have some of her girlfriends who are her servants and a couple witches, literally. They decided, okay, well, we got this torture chamber. I mean, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? So they're like, let's torture some chicks. Let's have some fun over here and let's get them naked. Sure. Let's get them naked. Let's burn them. Let's do that too. But we got all this here torture chamber stuff. Yeah, I know we got the torture chamber. I told you. I'm the one that told you, let's put them in the torture chamber. I know that. But I'm also saying, like, can't we burn them with some coins? Like, you think so small. Just because I got a torture chamber don't mean I just got to use the Iron Maiden, okay? Like, think outside the box here. There's 4 girls. It's us. We're killing all these ladies. Let's get them naked. Let's burn them. Like, what are we doing? Let's eat them a little bit, too. I want to eat them a little bit. You want to eat them a little bit? Because I kind of do. I'm going to bite them a little bit. Let's get them naked. And I'm going to start biting their face and chew on their face. Wait. I won't bite on their face. And then I'm going to make them chew it and eat it. Yeah. That's the type of stuff they did. Are you serious? They wouldn't only, like, put needles underneath your fingernails. She had a saying called, let the horror take out the needle. And if the horror did take out the needle, guess what? She just grabbed out a knife and cut off her finger. And she enjoyed throwing women over the wall to the wolves. Because remember, there's live wolves everywhere. I mean, it's not like you're going to Walgreens. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is medieval times. But this is shitty. This is terrible times. It's not hot water running. There's no toilets. Like, it's tough times, okay? So anyway, there was cannibalism. Is what I'm saying is there was cannibalism. So through these years of her being bored as shit because her husband's off killing people and she's killing people, she's killing men or women with him too. Yeah, they're having a good time. Sure, why not? But you know, I mean, once he dies, I mean, a girl can only do so much. You're married for 29 years. You got a pattern going on here. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Where's Anna and Dorca? Let's go kill some bitches. Let's go get some needles and coins and let's just have a good time. Let's freeze them. Yeah, that's what we'll do. They would put people on like a hot seat that is on fire. Like, from a pot underneath it, like a hot seat, naked, and, like, put stuff in your butt and stuff. Like, weird stuff. Like, weird, woo. Like, what are you talking about? So, she's killing all these kids and no one gives a damn because a lot of the time, she's killing all these women. They're poor people. They're peasants. And if they're not her servants, then she's giving them like a penny. Took her right out of the fountain. Handed it over to you. Give me your kid. Come on, let's go. I need her. So she did that a lot. I think there was a priest that like threw a fit about it. Like, lady, okay, you've had us here giving last rites like how many times this month? Like, get the hell out of here. Obviously something's up. And she was like, you listen here. Ain't nobody getting me in trouble, see? I'll be fine, you hear? Now you get out of here, I got money, see? And he was like, okay, I'll talk to you later. So, she starts running out of all these cheapos, basically. I mean, come on, let's have some fun. So she decides to create a finishing school. After all, her 5 kids are all grown up and they've got torture chambers of their own. You could only hope that their torture chambers is nicer, if not better, than their mother's torture chambers. But, you know, she sticks to chicks. I don't know. So, with the finishing school, now she's dealing with nobility. She's dealing with a lot more people because she's telling people, I will teach your daughter how to act. Just wait till I put that coin in her butt. Oh my God, she's going to hate it. All right. That's just her there. So they ended up, the fact that people had money and their kids started missing, now there's a problem, okay? Because, no. The poor people, they're expendable because they're poor. They're not worth anything. So, people with money, I mean, we've got, what? We've got assholes running around now doing stuff with video cameras. You can see them in paper trails of all their lies and terrible things they do. And can you imagine how much crap would happen then? Especially if you have money. And you could talk to a priest like that? Ooh. That might be a rumor, or I made it up. Tell you what I didn't make up. Snow cones. I did not make up snow cones. I didn't. So they had a trial. But because she's so rich, they just put on everybody else in the whole flipping town. And it don't be like, oh, they paid people and la la la. They would say she took the blood from the young ladies and would fill up a bathtub with it and soak in it because she believed in being beautiful and that the blood of the youth will feed her vanity. And then some people are like, hey, shut up. That their blood, it'll congeal and stuff. That ain't no good. Are you going to get into a tub of puddings? Stop it. So, you know, I don't know. It makes you wonder. And then I'm watching, what am I talking about? I actually read this. And they were like, you listen to me. I read 2 books on this. I know all about this lady and her blood. She was a good woman. This is a bunch of crap. And the truth is, she actually had hospitals. Hospitals in the 1500s. Okay, all right, hospitals, go on. And she actually took care of a lot of people, and she had charities. So, yeah. And they paid those witnesses. 306 witnesses went against her and her buddies, her helpers. 2 broads, they actually removed their fingers with hot irons. And then I think they caught them on fire, too. They had a good time with them. Anyway. It just doesn't even matter. So some people are like, listen, some guy wanted her. He couldn't have her. She had all this money and power. They start talking crap. And next thing you know, they got it made that they didn't even give her a trial for her. They had everybody else come talk. They wouldn't even let her there. And then some people are like, no, they didn't let her there because she was too much high nobility for her to even come there. It's ridiculous. You guys are going to say whatever you want anyway, but she's too good. She's not going to hang out with you assholes all day long. What are you talking about? So we're just going to brick her up in one of those rooms in the castle. That's cool, right? We're just going to do that. So that's what they did. That's what they did. They bricked her up in a room in the castle till she died. I think she was in there like 5 years before she died. The guy that did the trials and all that crap would come to visit her often. Do you think those are non-sexual visits? Only men came to visit her? Get the hell out of here. What? All she did was sexually assault 650 women, made them strip down and put hot corns and stuff in their butts and made them eat their own skin and stuff like that. You wanted to put her in her own castle, break her up in there and stuff and feed her out food and have her put her waste and her poo through a little hole in the wall, then that's what you do then. Doggone it, I don't give a shit. Even if she did any of that, like one thing of that, break her up. Like, how many years are we going to sit people on death row? Like 30 years and feed them and do all this crap? And for what? For what? I know that there's people that are innocent. I know that. I've been accused of things I didn't do. I get it. But doggone it, if there's a videotape of you and DNA evidence and this and that and this and that, it's not AI, okay? It's not. You're guilty. You're lying and you're guilty and now you gotta go. Now that we have all this stuff, what are we doing here? Like, even if you just... So the guy that locked her up would go visit her all the time. And then he'd walk out of there all pious talking about who... I mean, the one guy... Before he got her locked up, supposedly, he came and him and his buddies came to go talk to her and be like, listen, this is what we think is going on. I mean, you're in deep shit here. And she was like, come eat this pie. And this cake is delicious. And they're like, I don't know. It kind of makes me feel funny. And they're like, I think she poisoned us. Holy crap, we got to get out of here. And then they came back the next day and there was a dead broad right in the doorway. And then there was like 2 dead broads right outside the door. And they're like, oh my God, this is really happening. And that's when they started doing that stuff. So you'll see like all kinds of different, I think I watched like 7 different YouTube things, but I also looked it up. So, but it's very interesting to me that some people will be like, no, she was a wonderful person. She had so much money. She made sure she took care of people. She had finishing school. She had hospitals and charities and this, that. But if her husband is awful and her whole family, like, who takes a 13-year-old boy and cuts his dog off and throws him to wolves? These are not nice people, okay? So what are we doing here? I don't know. What are we doing here? Okay, so anyway, so once she died, after 5 years of being locked up in her own castle, she is buried, like, around the corner, and they're like, what? Are you crazy? She is evil? Hide your coins and your kids. Her ghost will roam and eat and then make you eat butts and coins. So no, I'm not doing that. Nails and horrors. I don't care. Get this broad out of here. So they were like, fine, then we'll put her in a tomb. Shut up. Well, here's the deal, McNeil. She ain't there. She ain't there. Neither is her underwear. She ain't there, and I don't care. Seriously, are you serious? Like, who gives a crap? I hope they... We don't want to know what I hope. We don't want to know. No. What am I talking about? What?